Hi all, welcome to our channel. So today we'll discuss on what is trade life cycle. Before going into that, we'll see what is trade. Trade is exchange of financial securities between parties and counterparties, where both agree upon some interest and they actually uh, meet up with all their trade details and they go for the whole trading process. So this is also like based upon they have to meet up with certain criteria set up by the trading norms that is being designed and available globally. So this trade flows into various stages. So which is we call it as trade life cycle. So let's discuss in detail on the same. So to show you, this is the diagrammatic overview of trade life cycle. So the first stage is place trade order. It is followed by execution and capture of trade, and it is followed by validation and enrichment. The fourth stage would be confirmation, and the next stage will be settlement. The final stage will be reconciliation. So let's see what each and every stage is in detail. So let's move on to the next one. So this is placing trade order. So what is placing trade order? So we have buyers on one side, we have sellers on one side. So one want to buy something and the another want to sell the same thing or different thing. So we want to know from whom we can buy. So we'll be having our own needs, sellers will be having having their own needs. So we want to identify our product on which quality, on which quantity we are looking for. So and we also want to go how much price they are quoting. So all these things like, so we want to know who will be the best seller or who will be the best buyer for us. So for this, we can just reach many authorized dealers are available in the market. So we can reach them. Using them, we can identify our buyer or seller accordingly. So to buy or sell our shares. Okay. So the next stage will be like completing this order. Actually, placing a trade order is like very simple step. Like you just telling your interest on what you want to trade here. But actually, execution is completing that order. So how that is done? The next step is like execution and capture. Where say I am a buyer, there is a seller who is actually matching my trade needs. So he'll be my counterparty. To say clearly, he'll be my matched counterparty, and when he or she is identified as a matched counterparty for my trade, the trade execution is done. So the trade details from both the sides are being collected and captured into the electronic systems, and appropriate risk management systems are also in place to to capture all these details and for taking up for further analysis and processing. So this is what done in execution and capture. Validation and enrichment is the next stage. So what is this validation? So as a party, I'm just going to submit my trade needs, and the counterparty will also be submitting the details from their side. But someone needs to validate, right, whether both the details are true to the fact, like what they were submitted. So what is the source of income? So what they are actually going to trade. So are they really having the payment capacity? Are they are they not doing any fraudulent activities? Or I mean, we want to know all these things, right? So they are actually assessed, and the trade details are validated for the truthfulness of what the information being furnished by the parties and counterparties. So once this validation is done, so this is being always done basically in the market, right? So where the regulations are there and you need to meet up certain trading norms which is set globally. So all these details, the extra details needed, wherever we are located. So by our geolocation and what we are going to trade, with whom we are going to trade, and whether it comes in the exchange traded part. So we have this OTC as well as ETC, over the counter and exchange traded. So basically we are now looking out for the exchange traded. So this is where this trade enrichment actually happens, as a complete proper step, because in OTC the enrichment is like likely to happen, or it will not happen at all. So which we'll discuss on in on our later videos. So now for now we'll just go with this. So some additional details which are required by the regulators, that is being added to the existing details submitted by the parties and counterparties, and the trade is being enriched. So the data is like made more in number for better clarity and for better processing. So this is what done in validation and enrichment. And the next stage is like confirmation. So this completely enriched trade details will, once it is being put up in the electronic systems, I have to be again checked, and it will be acknowledged, and it will be actually approved by the trade processing system. So once it is approved for settlement, both the party and counterparty will be receiving the confirmation, like their trade is getting confirmed, and they are actually going to have the settlement. So the settlement will be like it also varies geologically. So they'll be getting to know the settlement day. So what is the settlement quantity and what is the quality? So whatever basically they have submitted in the trade, right, as per that they'll be getting the confirmation letter of what the details. So it's like as simple as you just place an order. Say you order for cell phone, or you order for few grocery, or you order for anything, you will know what you have ordered. So you just, once you place an online order, you will be getting a confirmation message, right? So on when it will be getting delivered to you. So if it is a cash on delivery, you need to pay, or if it is already a transacted one, no need to pay. So all these instructions you'll be getting, and also what is going to be delivered for you will be getting. In a similar way, on this trade thing also, both party and counterparties will be getting to, because it's exchange between party and counterparty. So the information is shared, say party is a buyer and counterparty is a seller, means both the buying information and selling information will be exchanged between both of them, so that they know what they have to give it to the counterparty, and counterparty in turn what they have to give to the party side. So this is how this confirmation will be reaching them. And once this confirmation is done, so the next thing is like settlement. So actual trading happens, and the clearing house will arrange and complete the settlement process. So what is this clearing house? We know, right? There should be someone intermediary acting to settle and make it smooth transaction between the party and counterparty. So this is where the clearing house will help. So it will act as a kind of a custodian, or a who will take up the risk between the party and counterparty, and ensure that the settlement is being done between the party and counterparty by exchanging the securities and cash between the buyer and seller accounts. That will also be carried based upon the regulatory settlement norms, which is set geologically. So from where we are actually doing the trade, or in which in which countries place you are doing, or you belong to different country and you come here, and say for if you are a non-resident, there will be some norms, and if you are a resident for that place, there will be some norms. So it all varies on certain conditions. So for each and everyone who is going to trade, the rules will be like already designed by the regulators. So they have to follow that. Based upon that only, when the settlement will also happen. So finally, okay, so the buyer has got the product, or the security, or some whatever they have traded, and in return the cash, or agreed exchange trading security will be transferred to the seller account. So what is this? This is what happens, and we want to know who has traded and who has bought or who has sold, and we want to know the date of trade has happened and when the trade got electronically executed, when the trade got confirmed, when the trade got settled. So we want to know, have all the track, right? Even if you're buying something online, if you're revisiting, the same thing, you want to go and check, you want to know what has happened. So for which always we have our order history where we can go and view this. So the same thing they are also following here, reconciliation. So reconciliation is a stage where they do all this bookkeeping and account updating of the settled trades are done finally for tracking and the accounting purpose. So they just keep all the updates of all the settled trades on their systems. So for their reference, as well as the party or counterparty is having any disputes later, they can just have it for their usage. So this is how the trade life cycle, goes from placing the order till reconciliation stage. So hope you guys found it interesting. We'll try to, see you on our next video as soon as possible. Keep supporting us. Thank you.